All right, welcome back to the Ja Live channel. I am, of course, Ja, and we are working our way towards the 100 live guitar practice streams. We are now on day 66, actually. So, thank you all so much for joining my journey. I greatly do appreciate that. As always, you know me at this point. I like to challenge you as well. Pick up your guitar and let's follow along. Or, sometimes at least for me, sometimes, maybe you don't pick up the instrument. Maybe you just get a pen and notepad out rather than just watching it, blindly. Either grab your instrument or get a notepad and pen out so that way you can write things down. Um, or scroll to my pinned comment section below. You could always look at that as well to get like a verbal understanding of what I'm talking about here, since I'm not doing any cool edits and graphics, and these are just straight raw live recordings from YouTube. Um, I don't get to do all the cool graphics and edits and things like that. So check the pinned comment for like a written out description. Make sure you put that in your notes as well. And yeah, let's just see how good we can get, how comfortable we can get, with 100 days of practicing the guitar. If you've never ever practiced it before, that's what my journey is about. Just being consistent with it, seeing how good can you actually get in just 100 days. It's not even a third of the year. How good can you actually get? How comfortable can you actually get with something? So again, I'm not trying to shred songs during these 100-day challenges. Again, I've never played the instrument before. I've never played any instrument before. So I'm just trying to bond with it. I'm just trying to, figure out how to not sound like that, which is exactly how I sounded when I very first touched the guitar. It was like, man, how do you accurately put your finger here without muffling other things? It was so hard. I'm getting a little more comfortable with it. Can't really shred and play songs just yet, but we're getting there, right? Little by little, building those blocks, using those bricks to lay that foundation. So, anyways, as you can tell by the thumbnail and title of this video, we'll be getting into the caged chords and then some strumming. Strumming sounds super simple. I understand that, but it's not. Let's just be honest. It's not. When you've not done it before, it's hard to keep that rhythm, and keep things in time. So we got to practice it. But first, we're going to do some caged chords practice. We already understand the cage system just a little bit from my previous videos. If you haven't seen those videos, make sure you check them out, please. It goes a little bit more in depth on the cage system. From a foundational standpoint, I kind of already know the cage system a little bit and starting to see and understand where other, chords are. For example, this is an F chord, but using the C positioning. You can use the A positioning, the D positioning, G positioning, whatever. It's using the C, A, G, E, and D chords, but with a bar on top. So rather than using your index finger to make a lot of these shapes, like the C shape using the index finger, or this G shape using this index finger, you have to start using your index finger for the bar, right? So now you have to start figuring out how to do the C shape with your middle, ring, and pinky. So that way you can use this bar every now and then, So it's trying to like reteach myself some of these chords that I already kind of understand how to do them, but not with these fingers, So so that's what we're going to do. The first half of today's practice is just, previous videos I've done that slap drill where you kind of take your hand off of the neck of the guitar after each strum. So that way, your hand's kind of opening up, completely going into a different position, and then you go into a certain shape, and then you completely open up your hand, and then you go into another shape or whatever. So that's what we're going to do now, just to rep that out. So we know with the cage system, the C chord is the first one. So we'll just rep out C chords with the other fingers and a bar. And it can really be anywhere, right? Because you really want to practice it in different spots. You can practice it on every single fret, like I do in certain exercises, or you can just hit the dots, 3, 5, 7, 9, 12 But whatever's comfortable to you. You know, you're just trying to get comfortable making those shapes and doing bars. So I'm making a C shape and a bar. And every now and then you'll want to, okay, that doesn't sound too good. If I was to do the arpeggio of that, I would hear which string is muffled. And then I can make my micro adjustment, you know, depending on, you know, what's muffled. Slap the thigh, make another C shape with a bar. C shape with the bar. I should probably pull up a chair and do this one. I don't know. As I say that reminds me, if you're watching these videos and you're sitting down or if you're standing up, either way, make sure you practice doing the other version because it's quite different when you're completely suspended or when it's resting on a thigh and this part is kind of supported, but the neck is always so, you know, top heavy. It wants to fall down, so you kind of have to support it with one hand. It's just different. So I remember I was practicing sitting down for the longest. Didn't even try standing up until, I don't know, quite a while in. And when I stood up, I was like, whoa. I could tell just as I stood up before I even started playing. I was like, oh man, just the feel of the guitar, how it sits, how your hands and your shoulders have to be, you know, it's completely different. So make sure you're getting practicing in different ways, you know. It's hard to keep them close to the fret. I can do the shape, but it wants to go into the middle of the fret. So close to that fret bar, whatever that's called, the actual fret that's raised. It wants to be like in between two of the bars where it needs to be close to the actual fret, as we know. Now I'm trying to slide with it rather than take my hand off and slap my thigh. Just keep the hand there, but try sliding. That is a lot harder than it seems to get these three fingers to want to stay in the exact same, you know, positioning as I slide and not as I slide. They kind of, you know, start moving around. It's harder than it seems. That's why all these little things need practice. Might seem like 100 boring days, but we're growing a lot. We're learning a lot. Okay, so you have the sliding technique or the slapping the thigh. Let's move over into the A chord. Right, you got CAGED. So here's an A chord with this free index finger. You could do it with the free pinky also. You can do it with your fingers crisscrossed like this, with the index fingers in the middle and the middle finger and ring finger on the outsides of it. Usually if I'm coming from the D chord, I'll play that type of A chord because that index finger can stay anchored there for the D chord and the A chord if you do this crisscross pattern. But you can do it obviously with many different ways. Free index, free pinky, crisscross. You could bar it. Once you get good at barring with your ring. Close. But yeah, just showing you that there's many ways to play many chords, right? Even if it's in the exact same position. Yeah, there's an A chord here, an A chord here, and an A chord here. But even on the exact same notes, the exact same frets, the exact same area, there's many ways to play it, right? Depends on your finger pattern. What finger is comfortable to you to be used to fret that note. And that's why you kind of need to learn multiple ways of doing it, because in one song, for example, it might be a smoother, quicker, better sounding transition to, leave an anchor there. Maybe it sounds better to actually lift everything off and then come back down on everything. So, it really just depends on the song and the style and how you want it to sound. Do you want that, slide sound in there, or do you just want a transition, So figuring out what fingers you want to use is very beneficial. But let's move over here to the A chord. I typically would play it like this with the free index finger. If it's not coming from a D, if it's just in general. So then if we make that same position anywhere else, say down here, my fingers are too crammed to do that down here. So what I will do is I will just use my ring finger only, and I'll bar strings 2, 3, and 4, right? Because we would have pinky on 2, ring on 3, and middle finger on string 4. Well, take middle finger and pinky off, and now just use your ring finger to bar strings 2, 3, and 4. And then you also need your bar chord. So middle finger and pinky aren't doing anything. Index and ring are making this A positioning. It's the A positioning because we're making the A shape. You can practice sliding, practice the slapping the thigh, and trying to get the hand just right. Sometimes you can arpeggio it. Sounding good. You want to do that every now and then just to make sure everything's ringing out. See, there my high E string's not ringing out properly. So And as you do these quite a few times, you'll start getting more comfortable with them and they won't feel so awkward. Believe me, they still feel awkward to me. Chewing up this little finger here. All of them. When you first started the C chord, it was super weird and a far stretch and hard to do. The G chord was a little awkward. Maybe not the A or the D wasn't too bad, but certain ones are just like so awkward. Like, how could I ever get that? But in just a couple days, couple hours worth of time, things start to get a little more comfortable. You can go back to it, and it gets a little bit more smooth, a little bit more smooth, a little more clear, a little bit more clear. So just keep repping it out. You got to stop every now and then, shake it out. That's fine. I remember, I still do. I'm sure I don't play a whole lot of songs. I do a lot of fundamental stuff as I'm just trying to, get one with the guitar right now as a beginner. But I remember when I would try to play somebody's song, and it would just like loop over and over. It was kind of a simpler song. I would try to do that, and I could only do it for like 30 seconds, and my hand would start hurting, or my wrist would start hurting, my fingertips would start hurting too much. But you just stop, shake it out, go back at it, stop, shake it out, go back at it, and eventually, you can take more. You can take more pain. Not that you take more pain. Your fingers kind of get calloused and you don't really notice it. But that's okay. Don't be, don't get like scared, like, oh, your fingertips are going to be all ugly and super calloused and looking like crap. Like, no, that's not the case either. I mean, I'm 60 something days in and you get a little bit of callus, like maybe from doing like a bench press or something in the gym, but it goes away. It doesn't stay there for forever. Most of my fingers are actually still pretty soft. Some of them are kind of rough right now, but it's because I'm literally playing right now. If I was to put this down and, go take a shower and, lotion up my hands and stuff like that, the softness, it's not like when I'm holding somebody's hands, they just feel, rough, calloused hands. No, my hands are still really soft. So I just wanted to put that out there for anybody that's curious if their skin and hands will get tore up. No. I mean, a little bit, sure, but not to where you're out in public and just people can look at your fingertips and be like, "Oh, you're a guitarist," because your fingertips are all gnawed up. No, that's not. I don't think that'll be the case. So just get those reps in, allow the fingers to callus. It's all good. Just repping it out, trying to get this weird C shape understood with my other fingers so that index can play the bar. See, I'm just trying to slide a half step and I can't do it because one of the fingers has more friction on the string or something like that than another. And rather than staying equidistant apart and staying in the same pattern, my fingers start to slide around and get all jumbled up and then things start getting muffled. So that's why we practice these things. You see people sliding in certain, chord shapes and the shape doesn't change, really much throughout the song, but they're sliding all over the neck, but they're staying in the same shape. So it's important to be able to slide around in certain shapes and keep that hand in the same position. So that's why we practice the slap drill. So our hand and get comfortable going back to that position. And then that's why we also practice the sliding technique. So that way it gets comfortable sliding and staying in this position. Okay. Now let's try A's a lot. When you first start doing these bar chords with the ring finger also, it'll be a little tricky at first. You'll have to make some fine adjustments, but the ring finger wants to kind of often lay too far down, and it'll start to kind of mute or even play the high E string, and you actually need the index finger doing the barring to be playing the high E string, and the bar from the ring finger on the second string is where it needs to kind of stop. So every now and then I'd be messing that up with this ring finger. So that's one of the little fine adjustments you'll have to figure out with this chord shape. So that way that ring doesn't accidentally get involved with the high E string. All right, so after A, we have C, A, G. So we have the G chord here. Okay, so then when you want to play it with the bar chord, you got to switch your fingering to be with the middle finger, ring finger, pinky, and then your bar has to go not one fret back, but a whole step back. That's what's so hard about these G-shaped ones. I'll get better at it in time, I'm sure, as with all of them, but it's a funky one, that's for sure. Yeah, the further I get down here my wrist really starts to get crammed up. So I don't want to do that for too long, hurt myself. So always listen to your body. I think that's the key for with a lot of things in life. I work out a lot too. I'm pretty physically active, trying to keep my body healthy and stuff like that. And yeah, forget exactly where I was going with that, but we were on the G. Oh yeah, the hand cramping up and things like that. So just want to listen to the body. Don't want to, cramp up your wrist too long and get like carpal tunnel or hurt yourself and, not be able to practice for, weeks on end. So just always listen to your body. Just like if you were in the gym working out, doing push-ups, doing bench press, whatever it might be, squats, just listen to your body. If you start feeling a ligament or a tendon start to kind of catch or whatever, stop, shake it out, move, kind of shake it out a little bit, walk around. Maybe something just kind of caught and you'll be able to continue on. But maybe, there's something starting to get pulled there, something starting to tear there, and maybe you need to call it quits for the day. So just, as always, just listen to your body, just like if you were in the gym working out, just like with the guitar, if your wrist starts hurting or your fingers start hurting, make sure you stop, switch up your exercise, stretch out your fingers, rotate your wrists, or maybe, completely, put down the guitar, maybe watch some YouTube videos on some technique or something like that. Maybe do some research on Google or what have you, on some different techniques and things. Maybe your technique is off, with learning from nothing but YouTube and self-taught like I am, I'm sure oftentimes I'm, not following proper techniques. So if it's hurting too bad, just, call it quits. Do some mind training, doesn't always have to be physical, right? Got to do research, got to, look things up, figure out what is an A chord. Oh, okay, that's what an A chord looks like. Oh, that's what fingers you use. That's what frets they go on. Okay. So maybe your wrist starts hurting or hand starts hurting, maybe do some mental stuff for a while. I can seem to only do these G chords in like the middle of the neck, I guess. Let's see here. Am I getting more comfortable? The G's are hard. Let's do the E's. All right, so we got E chord here. Okay, now if you want to play that down here, that's fine. But you also have to bar right next to it. Just playing around with the E chord, E shape, I should say. Sounds pretty good. Ringing them out. All right. Now we have CAGE. We just practiced the E's. So now we have D, right? CAGED. So we want to find the D chord. We want to use the bar, and we want to rep that out either with the slap or sliding around. We just kind of want to get more comfortable with using the D chord or the D shape, so that way we don't have to stay here all the time. But we can switch our fingering, throw a bar down. The bar is a whole step away, not a half step. That doesn't sound right. See, it's a whole step away. This one slide. This is weird. Okay, did some sliding. Let's do some slapping. Just trying to get that hand to quickly get back to this pattern, this shape. Once it slaps the thigh and completely opens up and relaxes to a completely natural position, and then get back to that D. The bar D. It's weird because it's not like a bar. It's you don't just throw the finger on this D, at least. Let's see. Here's one. So here, rather than barring this like I typically would, I only put the index finger down on the tip, right on string 4, a whole step away. So just it's a different type of barring, I guess, right? Rather than just throwing a bar down, you're actually curving over your finger and using it on its fingertip rather than a flat bar. So it's still a bar chord, but it's slightly different with this D positioning here. So just trying to get quick at it. Bring that hand back to what we want it to do. tapping out these D shapes to get more comfortable for when I would ever have to throw out a barred D chord. All right. Real quickly, just wanted to mention again, the pinned comment section below always has like a detailed description of what I'm doing here. Since I'm doing, live raw videos without cool graphics and edits and things like that, I don't have cool pop-up words, saying this string and this fret for visualization. So make sure you go and check the pinned comment section below to get those details. Steal them, copy them over into your own notebook or your own Word document. So check out the pinned comment section below. Also, if you haven't subscribed, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. It's easy to find my content in the future that way, and you can stumble back across and be like, okay, well, what day is he on now? Today is day 66, but a couple more days, a couple more weeks, what day is he on? Is he finished? What have you? So it's easier to find my content if you're subscribed. You can continue being inspired, watching my channel, learning some little things that I'm saying and doing, and adopt them into your own practice exercises. So please subscribe. I would always appreciate that. Also, comment below. Don't just check out the pinned comment, but leave your own comment. Let me know how I'm doing on the guitar. Let me know what you think of the setup, how I sound. I know I already need a new camera. I'm working on that right now. I know I needed some lights at first. I got some of those. So things are slowly getting better, in time, right? So we're just working through it. We're learning. We're constantly, learning and evolving and, making things better. So thank you for staying with me and tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Let me know in the comments, anything that you think. I appreciate the feedback and the constructive criticism. It's always appreciated. So thank you in advance for that. I'm looking forward to seeing some of those comments down below. And then also, last but not least, hit that like button just to help a friend out. That's always appreciated. So anyways, let's go ahead and hop back into it. Now we're going to get into some strumming exercises for the day. So I know it sounds pretty, simple and like, oh, okay. But, strumming's just going up and down. Yeah, but it's going up and down, in rhythm, in time, in a certain pattern that's repeated and not, down, up, and then down, 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 and then up, down, down. And, it's always being different. No, it's got to be the same thing over and over. So I've done my research. I've found some of the, most common strumming patterns and techniques. And, we're just going to run through, a handful of them here. So we're going to do just a very basic 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So when you do the ones, the whole numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, you do your downs. When you say and, you come up. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's do it with the CAGED chords rather than the normal position. We're used to those already. We've done those quite a few times. You can do strumming muted. And actually, that's probably a really good one because, again, when we get into the strumming, we get into finger picking, we get into things with the right hand. A lot of times we do want to just kind of mute this. This hand gets a lot of focus, a lot of attention. When we're practicing fundamentals and just trying to get better at a certain, technique, sometimes we don't want a lot going on, tapping the foot and doing this and trying to sing, Maybe you just want to, be super focused in 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so if I was just to say the whole numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, I'd be skipping the upstroke. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. If we throw the ands in there, you'll actually hear the upstrokes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and you'll get smoother with it. At first it's like clank, and you're like kind of like clank, clank. Sometimes you're missing, sometimes you're hitting really, really deep with the pick. Sometimes you're barely grazing the pick over the string. Sometimes you miss it completely. So again, that's why these fundamental things are just so important. When you've never played the guitar before, sure, if you're already an intermediate or if you're already a pro, my videos aren't going to be of any use to you. But if you're also a beginner yourself and you're watching some of these other professionals and they're not explaining things on a certain level, hopefully some of my videos can help another beginner out or maybe even another intermediate out. So just practice that in your head. Even if I'm not saying it out loud, I'm trying to practice it in my head. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And as you practice that over and over, you'll start to see that, sometimes you're getting far away from the strings as you're trying to go up and down. But as you do it over and over, you'll get closer and closer and closer, and things will be really, streamlined. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and All right, let's try a different strumming pattern. That's a really common one, just a very basic 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and right. Let's try this one though. It's down, down, up, up, down. Down, down, up, down. Down, down, up, down, up. Oh, no. Okay. Yeah, down, down, up. Down, down, up, down. Down, down, up, down. Down, down, up, down. Down, down, up, down. Down, down, up, down, down. And switch up the tempo. Down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, repeat, down, down, up, down, repeat, down, down, up, down, repeat, down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down. Speed it up, down, down, up, down, 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 up, down. All right, so we have the first one was 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that one was just down, down, up, up, down. Now we're gonna go down, 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 up, down, up, 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 down, 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 up, down, 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 up. Down, 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 down. So this one's down, 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 up, down, up. So the first one was 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and the next one is down, down, up, up, down. Now this third one that we're working on right now is down, 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 up, down, up. So again, I'll put them in the pinned comment section below so that way you can see them. So make sure you review that. Whatever. I'll get better with these C's. The E's are pretty easy. The E's, no problem. Need some fine tuning for sure, but I'm getting that one. The C chord is pretty difficult. Again, you can mute all of this if you want, and that's what I'm gonna have to do for a minute, because I was getting sidetracked. I was doing too much focus and too much practice with this hand, and the second half of this video is it's strumming. So I really need to be focused on this right hand right now and not getting sidetracked with this hand. So I'm going to just mute these strings and work on my strumming pattern. So again, there was 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and there's the second one is down, down, up, down. The third one is down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, 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 down, up. So that's 3. Again, second one was down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, down, up, down. And the first one was just 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 3 and 4 and. All right. That's going to be a wrap for today. That is day 66 in the books. So I'm stoked. Thank you all for joining. I greatly do appreciate that. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my channel so that way it's easier to find me and you can continue being inspired in the future. Also, comment below to get a community of like-minded speaking about music and guitar and instruments and things like that. So please comment below. I'm super excited when I see those. Also, hit the like button just to help a friend out. Other than that, there's some floating videos on the screens now. So you can click this one to see my entire catalog of the 100 days that I'm building, and this one right here to watch the subsequent video in the series. So make sure you check those out to continue supporting Ja. And until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. Peace out. I love you. Take care. I'll see you in the next video. Deuces. Peace.